Hello, Don Hall at Don Hall Works YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk a little bit about recycling your waste product here. I have in front of me here 3 different common ways you end up making scrap, and one is like I do. I make a lot of things on a slab roller and do hand building, and I end up with a bunch of pieces like this that end up being too dry to recycle immediately and have to get put in a bucket of water to soften up again. And then the probably the most common thing people end up with is a whole lot of slop like this from throwing, and that's about the easiest one to recycle. I just take that off my potter's wheel, put it on my plaster table, and let it dry out a little bit, maybe an hour, hour and a half. Flip it over, wedge it up a little bit, and it's ready to throw another pot. The other thing we end up with is a whole lot of stuff like this when we trim, right? This is a little bit more difficult than the last one, but basically what I do is I just take this, leave it nice and loose, and put it in a bucket, get it nice and wet, and smush it down. Let that moisture mix up with the clay, and the same like this, I can wedge it up in a little while and throw it again. Sometimes I even just take this and throw it on top of that and wedge it all together. This is how I recycle my clay, get it ready to reuse. There's 4 buckets here, and in various stages of getting ready to be put on the plaster table to dry out and wedge. This barrel has big hunks dried up clay from various different projects. I throw all my scraps in here, even if I don't care if it's different kinds of clay. I put them all together, it doesn't matter, because I use my recycled clay for raku, and I end up throwing some more grog in it. Then what I do with these pieces is I take them and I get them into smaller pieces by using a hammer, something like this. I put this on the cement, hit it, give it a good hit with the hammer, and then throw it into this bucket here. Now, if you're going to do this, be sure you always wear a mask, because you do not want to be breathing clay dust. Then from here, when that bucket gets about 3/4 full, I fill it to the top with water and leave it for a couple of weeks. And if the water's in the summer, it kind of evaporates out, I keep adding water. And this bucket here has been about a month, I think, underwater. I'm going to see if I can mix it up now. And to mix it, I use this kind of a mixer here attached to a drill motor. And if it's really rough, I'll use this heavy duty one. But this rubber one, plastic one, seems to work pretty good most of the time. I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. All right, what I'm doing now is I'm taking that clay that I mixed up with the electric mixer out of the bucket and spreading it out on the plaster table. When I was a young man, I used to lift that bucket up and pour it on there, but I take it out about a pint at a time now. Clay from out of that bucket all smeared out here, and what I'm doing now is I'm going to add a little bit of grog to it. Like I say, I mixed up all my clay together, so it's just for raku. It's going to end up all being black anyway. So I add the grog on the top. All right, so that's how I do it. I'll leave it here maybe till tonight, tomorrow morning, and then I'll wedge it up real good. I probably divide it into thirds and take each part, put it in a plastic bag, and leave it for a couple of weeks so that the wetness and the dryness all marry together, and it's easy, nice to use. And so anyway, that's how I recycle my clay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel at Don Hall Works YouTube. Thanks.